Hello Vegan Prism, good morning, and today we are at the Animal Guardians Cat Cafe within the grounds of St. Vincent de Paul with Carmen and Poo. He's joined us for the interview here. Well, off he goes. Good afternoon, Carmen. Thank you for having us. Can you give us a small background history of the Animal Guardians Cat Cafe?
Sure. We started off as an NGO roughly in 2004. We were, those days we were street cat rescue.
All right.
We used to go around with students, build shelters for cats, talk in localities outside, stuff like that.
Yes.
And then we set up Animal Guardians, Malta, we changed it, we organized it more. And in June 2016, we set up this cat cafe.
It's very beautiful, yes.
With the help and support of the administration of St. Vincent de Paul for this. I thank them.
Yes.
They gave us a bit of their parking. They used to come every morning at about 6:30, builders, to tell them how we want the rooms.
Yes.
They were very lovely people, and they did their best to make the place as comfortable as possible for the cats. We had taken in around 42 cats from St. Vincent de Paul because the doctors did not want, they were too friendly. They used to go into the wards and they were not neutered, they were not vaccinated, so the doctors preferred that they don't enter.
Yes. And
we had collected about 35 kittens about 2.5 years ago also. They were put in those two rooms and they were a bit older. In those days, there were about 60 to 80 cats in the surrounding gardens. So St. Vincent de Paul is huge,
yes,
right?
Of course.
Around, there's that bit up there. And they were all not neutered, the cats, so you can imagine.
My God.
But with a team of about 3 or 4 women, one of them works in the administration, another one a foreign lady, and 2 Maltese women. They started neutering the cats, and thank God now all the area is neutered. I think there's only a little part up there where they're doing the extension, where there are the cranes, which they are not neutered yet.
All right. How many cats do you currently have at the moment?
At the moment we have around 160, 170 cats.
You really don't notice there's that many cats. We made an estimate, we thought there were about 60 cats.
They are quiet actually. They are quiet, and there are many hidden, the ones who are afraid to hide, because they all have their different stories. For example, this is B. This one was a home cat. Come B. This one was a home cat, and she went on the roof and she chased the birds of a neighbor, so they brought her here.
Alright.
Slowly we started arranging the place, the tiling, we commissioned
a mural, yes, it's very beautiful.
It gave life to the place, or the wall like that. We did many arranging. We started building this roof. We have a private company. They started working for us. Really, thank God, the people donate money. Though there are even volunteers. For example, Maria donated 1,500 for the roof.
Wow! All right.
She's one of the staunch volunteers. There are other volunteers who have helped. For example, there was Jacqueline. She worked hard to publish the diary. She collected the sponsors, stuff like that. We have other volunteers like Rita. I don't want to leave people out, like Rita, Maria, Dorian. There were Charlotte, Daniel, Matthew. There are many.
There are so many. You can't mention everyone. But
Julia. These are all part of a team who help us out, even home visits, organizing fundraising. Because unless the people give donations, it's very expensive to run it.
Yes.
I mean, food alone. I mean, we spend around 500 over about 7 days easily. Because the tents you can see, the brands are not the cheapest quality. Because
when you average it out, it's less than €5, €4 per week per cat, which is I
very
mean,
reasonable.
yes,
Very
yes,
reasonable.
yes. And in fact, on that point, you mentioned earlier that you have a scheme for
sponsoring a cat, especially those people out there who either have cats also at home or do not have cats and wish to sponsor a cat. They can choose a cat on our Facebook page, Animal Guardians Malta. We have a link to a site where they can see the cats and say, I want to sponsor this one.
Yes,
for example. For example, her name is Visa. They can sponsor Visa for just €5 a month, payable either every 6 months or 1 year, and we will send them photos. They can come and visit her, updates, stuff like this.
Yes.
It will be like their cat, but without the hassle of raising her at home and cleaning her litter and stuff.
Yes.
That's Popsy, for example.
I mean, €5 a month is nothing. It's just
No, it
€1.25 a week.
And
I'm sure you'll find it in some pocket here or there. You'll find
for
it.
us it will be a great help, because now we're going to continue the roof, for example, from this column straight ahead. We are not going to cover everywhere, because the sun, when it comes up in the morning, they have all their sun, and we notice that they love it.
Yes,
so
of
we
course,
don't
of
want to
course. Get some
cover
sunshine.
that sun.
Especially in the winter, the sun is very welcoming.
Yes.
And why should people? We heard a lot of there's a lot of controversy around why people should not buy from breeders and they should instead adopt. Why should people adopt and not buy from a breeder?
I understand people who buy from breeders. Some cats, maybe they want a certain particular kind of cat which you don't find at a sanctuary. For example, I can talk about the Persian who came in today, a 19-year-old cat, which was kept for 19 years to breed kittens by a breeder, and then she threw her out on the road. And this person found her all tangled. Can be seen, her backbones. So now we're going to keep her to settle down, and then the vet visit coming week, this week, and the groomer. But first we need her settled down for the groomer.
Yes.
So I understand that like when they buy dogs from breeders, they want them of a certain breed. But at the end of the day, if you really want a pet, not just for show, stray cats are amazing. These are all stray cats. These are all rescued stray cats.
Yes.
They are so tame that sometimes people come and they tell you, Illami, not even my cat at home leaves me hold him and sits on me like this, for example.
Yes. And something people don't really understand is, if you have breed cats, like pure breeds, they're all the same. When you have stray cats, I mean, here you have 160 cats, give or take, and not a single one is just like the other one. When you have stray cat, you have a unique cat that only you, anywhere in the world, has a cat like yours, and not like all these purebreds where you you see him, him and her, you don't notice the difference.
All the same face, all the same.
Exactly. You know?
Plus I'm against, for example, certain breeding, like when the urchins, they breed them so much that they can hardly breed.
Yes, the problem of selective breeding, yes.
Too much. So we have to pay attention also, a word of awareness that when they breed, they take in consideration even how they keep them.
Yes,
Not everyone does, because there are the professionals who, for example, they don't breed them more than twice a year. But then you've got the machines. These breeders who maybe not even listed and not even on the list registered.
And you have to consider the poor soul every time getting separated from their children. I mean, everyone knows someone who has gone through problems with having pregnancy and maybe miscarriage or abortion. But I mean, this happens to a cat, a breeding cat.
And the ones who are not registered, in fact, I heard this last time, especially where dogs are concerned, that they have defects when they're not registered.
Yes.
When they don't breed them properly. Because you've got people who spend about 5,000 to breed properly, you can have respect for them. But these who are not registered, the people who buy have to watch out. Because the pet they are buying, the puppy, especially dogs, I've heard, that they won't be the skeleton and
yes.
they will be defect and they can die after a short while, or they have to be put down.
Exactly.
So it's cruel.
At the very least, if you're going to buy, make sure you buy from a registered source who takes at least some care.
You don't give money to these people who don't care about the animals.
And on to another condition. Why should people neuter their cats?
Neutering. I don't know. Probably people know about this because not only I've been saying it repetitively, but many people. There are about 500,000 stray cats in Malta.
My God, a cat for every person, basically.
And the problem is coming from these people who don't neuter their cats, even at home. They have kittens and they either dump them somewhere, or they dump them behind a sanctuary gate, or they try to give them to animal welfare, or they try to give them to SPCA. And you've got the farms. In fact, I believe that neutering should be done.
Enforced by.
Yes, enforced. If you have a pet, it has to be neutered. Some people, educated people. Once I was talking to this lawyer, and he told me there's a cat in my road. You know, pretty she is. She just has kittens. And I told him, lovely, I told him, if you want, we'll neuter her for you.
Yes.
No, he told me, no. I told him, why not? He told me, no, they're so beautiful. I told him, but in 1 year, I don't know how many times this cat is going to have kittens, and they may be run over.
And
we see so many disasters.
Even the resources, I mean, yes, they're beautiful, but everybody needs to eat, and if you have 10 cats, they need to eat so much. If you have 100 cats, they need to eat so much more.
And here, for example, I know that a scheme has started being encouraged by the government for local councils. I think there is a sum allocated for each local councils, but not all the local councils have registered themselves to get this money from the government to neuter the cats of their locality. So it's important that they take part in it, because you cannot not care about the strays in your locality. I mean, you've got feeders bending over backwards, taking money out of their pockets. Most feeders go to work on purpose to feed and neuter their cats. I believe it's the government's responsibility that if the feeders are at least taking care of the strays, the government should take out more money.
Yes, and it is a social.
To help out the feeders to neuter the strays, because the sum allocated isn't enough. It's a start, but it isn't enough.
Yes.
And it's not just with talk. They have to enforce this. They have to help more, say that the local councils do take part in the scheme.
Yes.
Feeders cannot take care of hundreds of stray cats.
And it's very easy to avoid abuse. All you have is like a number of allocated feeders, which are vetted by the local councils, and they are given a set amount of money, which will cover at least a massive portion of their expense. Or at least the vets.
No, there is a system. There is a system. But there is more money needed and more enforcement and pushing over the local councils so they take part in the scheme.
Yes. And one last point, how apart from sponsoring and even those interested persons who can come and go through the whole, I'm sure, extensive process of adoption. You're not gonna come here and just come with a box and like, hey, I want that cat and I'm off. Animal guardians make sure they go through an extensive adoption regimen where they do home visits and make sure their every beautiful soul is going to their forever home.
Forever responsible home.
Yes, because we have to remember that everyone is an individual, they all have their own stories, they all need their love, and changing home, as much as it is traumatic even for children who move from one foster home to another, for example. It is the same for cats and dogs. And you have to make sure that once you adopt for life. That is very simple. How else can people come and help you?
Yes, volunteers, very welcome. They send us an email to animalguardiansmalta@gmail.com. We're here every day, so they can choose a day. If they can't during the weekdays, weekends, Saturday or Sunday, very welcome. After they've cleaned and fed, like those two volunteers over there, they're petting the cats. There were others before them also. There are students of the SOC, Systems of Knowledge. They can come here and enjoy themselves actually and get the signature just the same. We have internships from abroad also.
That's
which is
very
lovely. That's about it. And if there's anyone out there who can do fundraising events for us or wishes to take part as a fundraiser, we really appreciate.
Yes, you will always have a need for money.
The fundraising money is then directly bought as food, like we've got dogs and those. So we always appreciate fundraising.
All right.
Thank you very much for this coverage, Owash.
You're very welcome.
I just say one last word. This was a farm cat, and she had a fish hook pushed intentionally in the side of her mouth. And the vet loved this, and we had 6 cats of that farm, and we didn't give them back to him. I know that he brought more, but at least these they have suffered there, and now they're relaxed and happy here.
This is a big social stigma. There's a big problem that we need to look into socially. You know, yes. I mean, cruelty is never okay.
No.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for your time and everything you do here. We'll put all the links required for sponsorship and donation and contact down in the comment section, in the description as well. And otherwise, if you have any ideas, contact us. Otherwise, thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Animal Guardians, for all you do. And catch us on the next one. Ciao.